Okay, hi everyone. Welcome
Hi.
to our welcome to our special Hangouts on Air, our special online webinar.
Dedicated solely to Gmail
Gmail
ads,
ads,
the
yes,
newest, not the newest feature, but currently
most,
rolled global.
yeah.
So this is the last installment in our series about Gmail ads, and we're very excited to actually have a true expert among us because there are so many questions arising when it comes to Gmail ads that we really wanted to get, the in-depth perspective on it. So,
Sure. So we want you to welcome Melanie. Hi, Melanie.
hi, Melanie.
But unfortunately, she's not here in Dublin. So you're in Hamburg now, right? Or Berlin?
Berlin.
Yeah, okay.
So, but
So
with the power of technology,
yeah,
she's
we
able
can do that.
to be here.
Sweet.
We also enabled on. You will see you have the on the right side. You have the option to put your questions in. First, we're going to do some questions we beforehand prepared. So if we answer it with that, that's great. But do submit your questions because we have an expert. We have Melanie with us, and the basic is that you ask and we answer.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if
Cool.
we
So we're gonna kick off, Melanie, maybe for the beginning. Do you want to say a couple of words about, what's your role, what do you do within Google, and well, how are you related to, Gmail ads?
Absolutely, and thank you all for having me today. Thank you for dialing in for those online. So I focus all of my time on Gmail ads, and I make sure that we are bringing the right products for you to meet your marketing needs, that it is meeting your marketing goals, fitting into your marketing strategy, and I build all of the materials and information for you to learn about this product. So think of me as a product expert on Gmail ads specifically.
That's awesome. Do you want to say like a word or two about email and the importance of email as one of the media that users interact through?
Yeah, because we touched already,
Um,
but you being the expert, giving more in depth why email is a really great way how to do advertising.
Absolutely. And as probably everyone knows on this call, email is the way to communicate from one person to another via, yeah, a little more than just text messaging and whatnot. So at a basic level, emails are a very rich way of communicating from one user to another. And what Google tried to do with Gmail ads is bring an additional way for you to show ads that are more targeted to the user, but without creeping out any users either. So we tried to find that right balance of being relevant and showing more relevant ads, as Google likes to do, as well as keeping it restricted to a safe environment for our users.
And also to keep that great user experience, just so that that because this is a new ad format if we look at it, and to really go into the experience of the Gmail, so to not how to say distract you from doing your Gmail well.
so what was the rationale, our rationale to launch Gmail ads? Why why did we go after that?
Definitely. We looked at Gmail ads. We looked at Gmail originally back a few years ago. We started exploring the opportunity and see if that was something that was worth investing any time and engineering resources into. And when we thought about it, as users are using internet more and more these days, particularly on mobile, more than desktop, if anything, this was an additional way for us to help our clients meet their marketing needs within a very safe environment that is targeted to our users in different ways than they would be able to reach on YouTube or display through GDN and search.
Cool, that's great. That's a great answer. There's a lot of questions we're getting around, you know, how is this different from a regular email marketing? I guess a lot of companies are using the regular email
Yeah,
marketing.
just why don't you use that?
Yeah, exactly. Why
Why would we
Gmail
go
ads?
Gmail?
Definitely. And I'd say the two work very well hand in hand. So email marketing will, for the most part for users, show under the promotions tab of their Gmail account, where Gmail ads show as well. So the advantage of running Gmail ads is a slightly different type of targeting feature than you would with your regular email marketing campaigns. You'll be able to reach a wider group of users given our targeting types, such as topic targeting, keyword targeting, versus email marketing that's more refined to an email address itself. And based off of that, the Gmail ads placement is guaranteed to be at the top of the promotions tab. So on desktop,
focus.
Yep, on desktop it is one of the top 2 placements that you'll see, so much more prominent placement than regular email marketing. And on mobile, it's the top 1 placement that you will see there.
Yeah, especially now with, mobile is when you come to see how users experience their technology, how they go day to day, everyday stuff, how they're doing, basically the first thing you do check in the morning is email, like, okay, what do I have to do? So, and you do that on your mobile. I don't go and I, put out my desktop and here we go and check it. It's actually you do it on your mobile. So it's very good that, this is number 1. So basically, if we would go into the value propositions of Gmail ads, what would they be?
I'd say, first of all, the fact that it's the top placement in the promotions tab above all other organic emails that you might see there. The second piece is the rich creative format. So once you click on the teaser ad, you get 100% share of voice of the screen of the user. It is a fully customizable canvas that the user can use. You can very much make it into a mini landing page of sorts and really shorten the conversion funnel when you think about your marketing goals.
Yeah, especially with conversions being, most sought, especially for e-commerce or for people, who want to have people signing up to stuff. That's, basically a great way how to do it.
Absolutely. And there's so many different ways that you can look at the Gmail ad creative within that big full screen creative. Like you can really tailor to just about any advertiser goal.
And basically, we're already going into the next question. How would you suggest to an advertiser to really, to influence the customer in all the process of, customer doing a decision making? Where does Gmail fit in that?
Definitely. And if we go from a more performance-based over to a more branding and awareness-based, I'll start with more of the performance client that's really driving to drive sales right away. The best practices there would be to find the targeting types that make the most sense to you that perhaps you've tried on YouTube or on GDN, even on search. Repurpose those targeting types and make them a very tight group of users that you're trying to target. And make that creative very much about all the different options that you have to offer to that user. So put in there a click to call if calls are important to you, a click to the website, perhaps segment out those different clicks between shoes and handbags and clothing, for example, so that you're really driving the user to the exact page you want them to convert on.
So that would be for the performance-based people.
Absolutely.
So the goal is performance. So in short, put everything you want for the customer to focus on. Really, create the creative around that, so that you never lose them in the whole process.
Exactly. And actually, to that last sentence, if you are trying to capture the user and are afraid that they might go away, what I'd recommend is to add a form in the creative itself, which we do allow advertisers to build in. So what you would do is you put in your coding so that you capture the user's email address, their name, their phone number, perhaps where they live, and a few other fields, so that within the Gmail environment, they fill out that information, you capture that data on your end, and if at any point in time the user drops off and doesn't convert on your website, you're still able to re-engage with them later on, making it a very powerful performance tool there.
Yeah, and it's also, a way of establishing a relationship and not going from there. But, that would be performance-based. How about brand awareness? How do you create that via Gmail ads?
But with brand awareness, what I'd recommend from a targeting point is to have broader topic categories that you might segment out, as well as affinity segments that you would want to add there. And then on the creative type, you can add a video in the creative to give the user an idea of what your brand and your product is all about, what you would be offering to them, and then show a link to your website, or again, you could add a click to call option there. And it's really all about options for the client, for the end user there, because of that large canvas that you can have.
So maybe we touched upon mobile earlier, right?
Yeah.
What would be your, say, general tips in terms of, making sure that, the canvas is, tailored towards mobile users?
So that the experience is mobile-based.
Because obviously, I guess you mentioned the forums earlier, is this a good way to go for mobile, or is it not? What are the best practices around that?
Definitely. And I'd say for mobile specifically, if your goal is to attract a mobile user, and say you have a campaign that is set to mobile-only devices, keep that creative as short as possible while giving them users. So make the buttons big, make them one below the other so that the user can really click on that button when they decide that they want to go to your website or call you. Actually, click-to-call works fantastic on mobile specifically, given that you can call right from the device. From there, add a video perhaps, but at the bottom I would say, and then a click to your website. But keeping it as mobile-friendly, same best practices as you might think of on GDN, keeping it simple, large, so that you don't have issues with the screen being too small.
Yeah, basically because, mobile in the end, it's vertical, and normally you look at it also like that. Before going, into the last questions we had prepared, for all those who are viewing us, there are some viewers there live. Do ask your questions. You have the option, I think, on the right. So do give the questions to our expert, because that's why we have Melanie here for, and this is your opportunity to ask.
We don't bite.
Yeah, we don't bite because there's a screen in between, so it's physically not possible. But do ask questions, and today if you.
Sure. Yeah, maybe just for the next question would be, if you had to give, let's say, 5 top tips for our advertisers across Adriatics, what would they be? Let's say the top 5. No more than 5.
Let's see if I can refine it to 5. I'll try and pick my favorites here. Keep it simple for you guys. Okay. I'd say leverage all of the tools that AdWords has to your disposition. That's a big one, but it covers quite a few things. So use Conversion Optimizer and Target CPA. Use aggressive targeting as well, DCO, to expand to similar users to the types that you've already selected. Take advantage of all the targeting types that Gmail Ads has to offer, which are topic targeting, affinity segments, keywords, and within keywords, actually, an interesting piece that is very Gmail focused is the ability to target domains that a user has in their inbox. So if you're receiving domain or specific emails from a, say, similar customer to yours or someone else that your user might be interested in, target those as a keyword in your campaign, one of the most powerful tools that we have. Thinking about your targeting is a big one. And then taking full advantage of the creative. In case you haven't caught on yet, creative is a big piece of what makes Gmail a good format for you. Making sure that you're testing out, doing some A/B testing between creatives, making sure that you're looking at the results and optimizing from there. I think there's more than 5. But
more than 5, yeah. Damn it.
It's hard. It's hard to pack that all in. That's why that's why we are so excited when it comes to Gmail, and I think it does help you how to do the essence of your website, the essence of what you offer, and then show it to people, because the attention span, let's face it, it's getting smaller, and you have so many competitors, going for that focus of a customer that you really have to become more creative. If we go back to the creatives.
True. Well, one more maybe. I guess you came across a lot of best practices, right? So I'm going to give you a couple of verticals, and maybe if you can just point out what were the best practices. Let's say travel first. Did you come across any good examples from any travel company, and what specifically were they doing?
Just taking a step back, for vertical best practices, the best practices there are mostly around creative. So I can give you some examples related to all the ones you rattle off. For a travel client, really in the creative, making sure that you show all the different options of, say, destinations that you might have, or different hotels, what different rooms might look like, say. So showcasing all of those will really help the user get an idea of what your brand is about, what you offer, and then go directly to the exact hotel that they picked out, or even just your general website to browse and see what you have.
All right, e-commerce.
Yeah,
e-commerce.
That's what we're all about, exporting and using the power of internet.
Absolutely. So e-commerce, again, it's actually similar to travel in that you do want to showcase all the different products that you offer, the breadth of options that you have on your website. And actually, you could slightly take what your landing page looks like and make it into a Gmail ad in a sense. And take whatever deal you have for that week or for that day, put it at the top, and then say, all right, from here you can get 10% off shoes, 10% off handbags, 10% off coats, or whatever the most weather appropriate is.
Do you have any other verticals that are popular?
So, for me, it's more, we're also interested in how about, for those people who are interested in, who have, like, say, natural supplements or, who have any kind of medical services, stuff like that, which are a bit on the side of, are we able to use Gmail for that?
And I'd say the answer there is kind of a case-to-case basis, but the overarching policies there are, as long as you aren't targeting any ailments or specific diseases that a user might have that aren't so pleasant to talk about and might be a little creepy for a user, definitely keep the general. Supplements, for example, are fine as long as you're just talking about the product themselves. Medicines, if they don't require a prescription, are allowed. So as long as you keep it broad enough and more informational about what your product is, for those most, say, sensitive categories, you will be allowed to run there. I'd say we do have a great policy page on that for all those who want to read up on it. The AdWords Support Center details that out pretty well.
Yeah, and also because it's a case-to-case basis, you can always give us a call because we do have the phone support for all, from Serbia, Slovenia to Croatia. So give us a call when it comes to a specific question. And when we're at questions, use the box now if you have anything to ask, because after that it's not going to be live anymore.
Can we do some giveaways? We have some swags.
Well, let's say to the first person who asks you, we will get a gift. So here it's a bit of incentivized. So if anybody has a question related to Gmail ads, do post it now, and you have the box. And if not, if you by any chance do not see the box, you can also post it to the Google Plus page on which we have it. In this case, it's the Slovenian one, so you can go there and type it. Let's give you a minute or two, just so that you can construct the question. And maybe in the meantime, if we wrap up the whole thing, because we had a longer series. This is the last installment, as we said, in the series of 4 about Gmail ads. And today you were the one who was leading all this, really wanting to showcase the benefits. What would you say?
Oh, I have to wrap up now. We have an expert there.
No, we will, but while we're waiting for the questions.
Can I leave this to you, Melanie?
Yeah, because I guess there's no question. But
I guess I suppose the things that I've learned the most, and I mean, as I'm working in sales, and I'm involved a lot in different Gmail campaigns. I guess, and Melanie pointed that out, already.
Mm-hmm.
So creative, extremely important. Making sure that you're using all the targeting options, so from keywords, domains, topics, etc. And then what I realized is also testing. You got to do a lot of testing. Don't be just satisfied with one creative. And then the last one, which we often forget, is especially on mobile. Think about how users interact with your phone, right? So there's a certain viewpoint. It's usually the bottom right corner where you swipe with your thumb, right? And that's the area where users are, usually find it easier to press on the buttons. Don't put it on the very top, right?
Okay.
So
a bit of user experience.
A bit of user experience, and it's all about the testing, right? So.
Yeah. And if it's all about testing, and if you have no more questions, maybe Melanie, your final thoughts on how to properly test a Gmail ad to see which of the creatives you would choose.
Absolutely. I'd say make sure that you have several ad groups with different targeting types in there. Make sure to add at least 2 or 3 creatives in each one of those ad groups and tailor it a little bit to the targeting group that you have. Say if your ad group is around moms with kids, make it a little different than if you were targeting teenagers, for example. Make that creative a little more tailored to who you are targeting, which I guess is a general best practice of your ads, but also applies to Gmail ads. And take advantage, as Tadej said, take advantage of the full creative options. Refresh those creatives maybe every 3 to 4 weeks as best you can. Keep things fresh and updated, and use AdWords automated tools for that.
And how, if you would say for time period, how long should a test last? Do you have any? Do you suggest any time frame?
Definitely. 4 to 6 weeks is about the good time frame for a test to run, closer to 6, but 4 should give you enough insights as well.
Okay, so more AdWords, different kinds of targeting specific to the audience that you're trying to address, and run between 4 to 6 weeks to really check it out.
All right.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yes, I guess it was self-explanatory. Or Melanie, you really did a great job. Actually, we answered. Yeah, you answered everything there was to it. So thank you so much for being present.
What? We're just gonna have you every week here.
Yeah,
from now on. So just book Fridays.
Thank you so much for dialing in. Thank you so much for all the knowledge that you. Oh, we have a question.
Thank you, Nicola.
Okay, so Nicolas, this
Thank
question
you.
was, thank you,
Thank
Nicola.
you, Nicola.
Can you say something about integration, connection of Gmail ads and analytics? Can we see it as a separate campaign or new acquisition type? So analytics and Gmail.
How do you see Gmail ads and how do you track them in analytics? And how do you?
Yeah, do you see them as a separate campaign? Are we actually able to see the data in analytics?
Yeah.
So you should be able to see the data in Google Analytics. And if you use, I'm forgetting the checkbox, but you can use both click trackers and just auto tagging for GA in AdWords. That is all compatible with Gmail ads. And it should show as Gmail inventory in your reporting there too.
How about when it comes to acquisition? How are we tracking conversions? What would be the best way to track conversions?
Similar to GDN and in search, it would just be a different, for this purpose, I would recommend setting up separate AdWords campaigns for AdWords just to make sure that you're segmenting out the measurement properly and have it a clean cut. And then it should all just show in the back end in your reporting. Nothing additional should be done there. Should need to be done first.
Okay, great.
That's a great question.
Yeah, thanks, Nicola. We actually, that's a segment very important, of course, for performance oriented, how it all goes into analytics, also for brand awareness. Yeah. So thank you so much for that. Any more questions? So I guess not.
He's gonna wrap up.
Yeah, I think thank you, Nicola, for this Q&A to become a true Q&A. So I leave it to you to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Now.
So Melanie, thanks first off for coming to our webinar. It was great having you here, and I hope we're going to do many more. And best of luck with the Gmail ads. And for you guys in Adriatics, so thanks for coming. And if you have any questions,
yes, thank you for being present and to listen to English, because we do offer phone support for all your clients out there in the national languages. So Serbia, do give us a call every day and if any questions for the additional in our help center articles, and if not, just give us a call.
So yeah. So thank you guys. Thanks for
advertising.
Bye.
Bye everyone.